Alright, so, picking up where I left off about Schisandra, so I talked about three major points, and again, these were not, like, the only points to be made about the chemistry and pharmacology of it, but there was the three basic things that I talked about were the antioxidant activity, the PXR receptor, which basically is about clearing out foreign substances from the body, and the heat shock proteins. So those were like the three big things I talked about Schisandra doing out of the low level. So the bottom line of all this is that Schisandra is basically an adaptogen, is the easiest way to sum all this up. And that's what it's used for. It's been used a long time. It's in Chinese medicine, traditional Chinese medicine. It was actually one of the 50 essential herbs. And it's an adaptogen. That's basically what it is. The thing is, too, it's good for liver protection, in particular, because, you know, different adaptogens are good for different things. An adaptogen is not just the same as any other adaptogen. The basic idea, of course, is that they all fortify the body against stress and kind of act as a tonic. If you're up, they can bring you down, and if you're down, they can bring you up. And, you know, they work in different ways, and they have different bonus features with them. You know, some of them are good for other things. They're not just adaptogens per se, but Schisandra, one of the big things is that it's good for your liver. It's particularly good for protecting the liver, and it's because well, I think there's other mechanisms, but the one that I touched on in the last video was that PXR receptor. Is the receptor that I talked about in that video, but Schisandra, the lignans in it, some of them activate that, and that increases the ability of the liver to process foreign substances. So they could be toxic, or it could be drugs. And that's actually really essential, because when I'm talking about, go ahead and I'll talk about the drug interactions. Schisandra actually, anything that is processed by that particular enzyme complex, which is a lot of drugs, it'll eliminate them faster. It's different than most drug interactions. A lot of drug interactions, they overwhelm your liver, and so you can like get liver damage or something. You know, they overwhelm the body. This is actually like the reverse of that. This increases, Schisandra increases your ability to process these medicines, so your like levels of them drop faster. A major example of one that interferes, that Schisandra interferes with, is warfarin. You know, a blood thinner. So I mean, that's a big deal. It's the type of medicine, if you have to take it, it's really important. So yeah, I would definitely look out for, do your research, and I would, honestly, like, I'd be very careful if you're taking anything at all, with Schisandra. In terms of, like, medicine, like pharmaceuticals, stuff that you're actually prescribed for, you know, so, that's one major thing to look out for. A lot of the things I talk about, I don't have many drug interactions. This one actually, has a lot of drug interactions for that reason. So how's my experience? For me, I don't know. It's hard to tell. It does seem to me like it works pretty fast. You know, I always try to check myself, you know, do I think this is a placebo? You really can't tell, but I don't know. I think you get better over time if you're honest with yourself, that knowing what's a placebo and what's not. But it seems to me like it works really fast. Because, you know, there's some things I'll take and they just don't even seem to work at all. So, I mean, this one is something that I seem to be able to feel. And basically it just has an effect of And by the way, I mean, to my knowledge, this isn't necessarily psychoactive per se. I don't know if there's anything in here that messes with your neurotransmitters directly. Again, it's complex chemically, so I don't know. Maybe there's something that is, but to me, it feels like it kind of clears up your head. I think it would. I don't really have problems with brain fog, but I think if you had problems with brain fog, it might be something worth trying. I think maybe one of the big causes of brain fog is inflammation, and I think that if that's the case, if it's caused by inflammation, then I think Schisandra might be good for clearing up your brain. Maybe I do have like some kind of inflammation, even if it's not like full-blown brain fog. It feels like I just think well. Like I don't feel like I have. It's not like a lot of pharmaceuticals where, you know, or even herbs where, like, even if it's a good effect, it feels like something is going on chemically. You're getting a push for something in there. It's not really like that. It's just like, I don't know, like, I guess I would call it like your baseline functioning, but better. Like, it raises your baseline. Like, you just feel like it's natural. Like, you're healthier. It doesn't feel really like you're on anything. It just feels like it's you without anything, but you're functioning better. I mean, if that makes any sense. That's how I would describe it. It just feels like you function better. It feels healthier. But it's very, very, very natural. Even more natural feeling, like I said, than a lot of herbs that might be working on neurotransmitters. It works in a very, like, it's just good for, like, holistic medicine. And this is, I guess, is in line with how it works, you know. It's like this, as I said last time in video, it was a hormetic response of sorts, I think, you know, and it helps, in being an adaptogen, it takes a lot of that stress off your central nervous system and just allows you to think better. And, I guess I feel healthy in other ways, too. Like, I can kind of see how it's an adaptogen. Like, I kind of feel like a tad, like, in my body, I can sort of feel it a little bit. And it's not necessarily, like, all health. You know how, like, if you exercise too much, like, you feel good, but you feel like it was a stressor at the same time. And it feels like that with Schisandra, but to a lesser extent. For me, at least. So, in the body, you know, you feel a little bit stressed, but I feel good. I feel like I can think, like, a lot better. Like, certainly within an hour, but I think before that, I would say even, like, within, like, 20 or 30 minutes, I feel like it's affecting my brain for the better. Very, very natural, just like, I don't know, as I said, you know, for maybe lack of a better way of putting it, like baseline, but healthier. Like, this is I just feel like I'm not on anything, but I'm just feeling healthy. Like, my brain just naturally works better. So that's what I do. I'm still struggling with how to use it. For me personally, it is an adaptogen. I would think for most people, I think of it as an adaptogen as being a certain slot in your regimen, and you really only need to have one. And you know, there's different factors that might go into how you choose that, but I haven't figured out what adaptogen is good for me. I have different ones that I toy around with, so I'm kind of in an experimental phase with Schisandra right now, but I don't have the bottle with me at the moment. It's across the room, but it's an eyedropper. It's an extract, like so you know, just like that tall of a bottle with a eyedropper. Very, very concentrated extract, and like 3 times a day I'll just squirt that into water, and an eyedropper full of it. I'll squirt it into water and drink it, and I do definitely feel an effect from it, and so I'm struggling with how to use it still, but it's basically an adaptogen. I'm told, from what I understand, it's good. It can maybe improve athletic performance. That's one of the claims. I don't know how. The human studies are not real rigorous, but apparently it's known that it makes horses run faster, so, I mean, if it works for horses, I'm sure, you know, it might work for people. So, yeah, I'm still experimenting with it, and that's pretty much it. That's it for Schisandra, and I'm finally getting around to ordering new peps, so I should be doing a video on that soon. So, till next time, thanks for watching.